Kyren Wilson's World Snooker Championship defence ended in spectacular fashion on the opening day of the 2025 tournament, suffering a 10-9 defeat to Crucible debutant Lei Peifan. The world number 2, who had won 4 ranking events this season, more than any other player, became the latest victim of the infamous Crucible curse, extending the streak to 20 first-time champions who have failed to retain their title.
Well, it doesn't matter about the final red. They had the whole of the Crucible to themselves for this deciding frame, and the defending champion is out. What a shock this has been, but the gentleman is congratulates his opponent. The Crucible curse strikes again. The defending champion goes out, and that young man must be absolutely delighted. 9-6 in front. He's seen his opponent come back to 9-all. He's won a deciding frame. Take a bow.
The match followed a remarkable pattern of shifting momentum. Wilson, nicknamed the Warrior, had looked in control after the morning session, recovering from an early 2-0 deficit to lead 6-3 thanks to breaks of 82, 66, 82 and a superb 136. However, the evening session saw a complete reversal as Lei, the world number 1. 39 produced a stunning display to win 6 consecutive frames with breaks of 50, 53, 60, 75, 89 and 92. The match contained several pivotal moments that defined its outcome. Frame 9. Lei won a crucial safety battle on the final red before clearing to the pink, reducing his deficit to 6-3 at the mid-session interval. Frames 10-15. Lei's remarkable 6-frame streak included a 69 break featuring a stunning long green and a 92 break that put him on the brink of victory at 9-6. Frame 16. Wilson kept his hopes alive with a 106 clearance, his highest break of the match. Frame 18. Wilson produced a superb shot to release the final red off the cushion, helping him level at 9-9. Decider. Lei held his nerve with a break of 66 after Wilson's safety error, sealing the biggest win of his career. Wilson later reflected, "I had everything go against me. The table let me down in the decider. I played a couple of slow-rolling safety shots, but they drifted a mile." The defeated champion was visibly shaken in his post-match interviews. "I'm devastated, Wilson told BBC Sport. "I gave it my all. Every credit to Lei. He potted some incredible shots and held himself together incredibly well for a debutant." Wilson admitted struggling with the pressure of being defending champion. "I was so nervous this morning. I felt awful. It's been very challenging to prepare for a world championship this year with all the media commitments. I sympathise with previous world champions. Your preparation takes a hit." The Englishman, who had been in the form of his life with 4 ranking titles this season, added, "It feels like the season is a bit of a waste now, but that's just the winner in me. I want to win all the time." For 21-year-old Lei, this victory marked another milestone in his rapid rise. The Chinese player had already made waves by winning December's Scottish Open, where he defeated Shaun Murphy, Stuart Bingham, Tom Ford and Mark Allen, all in deciding frames. "It feels amazing," Lei told World Snooker Tour. "The Scottish Open was my first title, and this was my Crucible debut. Both moments are very special to me." The emotions were just as intense. Lei's performance was particularly impressive considering his nervous start. He potted the blue off the opening break-off shot. However, he grew into the match, demonstrating the tactical maturity and break-building ability that has marked him as one of China's brightest prospects. Wilson's exit extends one of sport's most remarkable statistical anomalies, 48 years, since the tournament moved to Sheffield in 1977. 20 attempts by first-time champions to defend their title. 20 failures, including Wilson's 2025 exit. 2 players, Joe Johnson in 1987 and Ken Doherty in 1998, reached the final in their defence. 7 champions lost in the first round the following year, including Wilson and 2024's Luca Brecel. Wilson had previously dismissed the curse, even creating a humorous video showing him breaking mirrors and walking under ladders. However, he joined an infamous list that includes Steve Davis, Dennis Taylor, Graham Dott and Neil Robertson. 7-time world champion Ronnie O'Sullivan offered insight into Wilson's defeat on TNT Sports. He said, "I don't think Kyron played that bad. I just think the other guy played well." Kyron had one of those sessions where nothing really went right for him. O'Sullivan suggested Wilson may have overplayed before the tournament. He's gone deep in a lot of tournaments, won a lot of tournaments, but I think he played in too many that he didn't need to. You want to come here fresh, a little undercooked. The Rocket also praised Lay's temperament. He held himself together extremely well under pressure. That's a huge asset for a young player. Lay's victory highlighted the continued rise of Chinese snooker. 10 Chinese players, a record number in this year's championship, nearly 1/3 of the field. Zhao Xintong returns from 20-month ban to qualify, faces Jack Jones next. 200 million viewers, estimated Chinese audience for the tournament. Sheffield contract expires in 2027, with speculation about potential moves. Stephen Hendry has tipped Zhao as China's best hope for a first world champion. Lay's win adds to this narrative, with the 21-year-old now potentially facing Zhao in the last 16 if both progress. Played just 2 competitive matches in 2025, withdrawing from 5 tournaments on medical grounds. His last appearance ended abruptly in January when he snapped his cue in frustration during the Championship League. O'Sullivan stated, "I'm not playing until Tuesday, so if I have a meltdown, who knows? I might still bloody withdraw. I hope I don't." The cue incident marked a turning point in O'Sullivan's season. After breaking his primary playing cue, an instrument he'd used for many of his record-breaking achievements, he struggled to find a suitable replacement. For months, he experimented with different cues, even attempting to play left-handed at one point. "I tried playing left-handed for a couple of months," O'Sullivan admitted. "I enjoyed it, but I can't compete left-handed against these guys." He eventually settled on a new cue that had been sitting unused in his collection. "I've got a cue. I got given it. I've had this one for 3 or 4 months sitting in a rack. I tried it out and it was okay." Despite hitting 2 maximum 147 breaks during practice sessions at his academy in Saudi Arabia, O'Sullivan remained cautious about his tournament prospects. He said, "It's a lot of difference hitting a 147 in exhibitions to coming at the Crucible and playing the best players in the world." O'Sullivan's challenges extend far beyond equipment issues. The snooker great has been remarkably open about his mental health battles this season, describing periods where he couldn't bring himself to practice. "This feels different because I was a bit scared to go near the table," he said. "I didn't want to practice. I didn't want to hit the ball. There were so many practice sessions that lasted like 5 minutes." The pressure of competition has become increasingly difficult for the veteran player to handle. "I've lost my nerve, maybe lost my bottle. That makes it difficult to go out and play," O'Sullivan said. "Even when I went to Saudi Arabia to do the exhibition, I felt quite nervous just exposing myself to the scrutiny and judgment." In a potentially significant development, O'Sullivan has reunited with sports psychiatrist Dr. Steve Peters, who played a crucial role in 4 of his 7 World Championship victories. Their partnership has historically helped O'Sullivan manage the mental demands of top-level competition. The reunion suggests O'Sullivan is taking his Crucible challenge seriously, despite his public doubts. "I'm surprised I'm here, but I'm here," he said, acknowledging the effort it took just to arrive at the tournament. O'Sullivan has set remarkably modest goals for his World Championship campaign, a stark contrast to his usual confident demeanour. "I don't have any expectations," he stated. "I'd just like to not feel all at sea out there. If I can just play and at least feel semi-competitive, I'd be happy with that." When pressed about his chances of winning an unprecedented 8th world title, O'Sullivan was blunt. "Could I win the whole thing? I doubt it. I'd be very happy to just give Ali a game." The snooker legend believes age is becoming a significant factor. "I'm nearly 50 now, and there's a lot of young guys who are hungry and competing all the time," he said. "It's a bit different to, say, 2012, 2013. I feel like a bit of an old man clinging on." O'Sullivan's preparation for the tournament has been far from ideal. A recent practice session with Barry Hawkins left him so discouraged he considered quitting. "I practiced with Barry Hawkins for a couple of days, and on the second day, it was that bad I quit," he said. Hawkins offered some reassurance, telling him, "It's not as bad as you think. It's just maybe concentration." O'Sullivan said, "So I held on to that." O'Sullivan's first-round match against Ali Carter is one of the most anticipated opening clashes in recent Crucible history. The pair have a storied rivalry, including a heated encounter at the 2024 Masters that saw physical contact and verbal sparring. O'Sullivan has previously described Carter as not a nice person and a nightmare to play against. Carter, a two-time World Championship finalist, represents one of the toughest possible first-round opponents. The match is scheduled for Tuesday, April 22nd, giving O'Sullivan several days to finalise his preparations or reconsider his participation. "It's Friday now. I'm not playing until Tuesday," O'Sullivan said, leaving the door open for a potential withdrawal. While O'Sullivan hasn't announced retirement plans, he's clearly contemplating his future in the sport. "I'm not quitting just yet, but I will give myself 2 years to try and figure it out," he told the Daily Mail. The snooker legend wants to avoid ending his career on a low note. "I don't want to finish my career feeling like I wasn't really performing to the level that I know I can," he explained. "I don't have to win tournaments, but I just want to feel like I'm enjoying the game. I'd like to go out with a smile on my face." The snooker world awaits Ronnie O'Sullivan's decision about competing in the 2025 World Championship at Sheffield's Crucible Theatre. The 7-time world champion has not played a competitive match since January's Championship League, where he snapped his cue in frustration during a match in Leicester. Mark Selby, who witnessed O'Sullivan's distress firsthand, has spoken openly about his concern for his rival's well-being. "I was at the Championship League when Ronnie was there, and I spoke to him afterwards," Selby said. "I could see that he wasn't right. Knowing how I was, you can sort of see it in people now and pick it up." O'Sullivan's withdrawal from subsequent tournaments, including the Masters, has raised questions about his participation in snooker's most prestigious event. The Rocket currently sits 35th in the one-year rankings after his extended absence from competition. Selby's empathy stems from his own battles with anxiety and depression. The 4-time world champion has been candid about seeking professional help, working with a London-based doctor for 6 months to manage his condition.
Dr. Lanka from London actually, and he sort of told me how to sort of control it a little bit more. The way he explained it is though it's like losing a loved one, you know. He said you'll never get over it, but you sort of learn to deal with it a bit better. And before, the position I was in, it was all new to me, you know. I didn't know, it just hit me from nowhere. I mean, he said, I explained to him all the stuff I'd gone through in my past, and he said I'd been suffering for a while and not known, you know. I was waking up, I was just thinking like, people feel crap some days, you know, some days you feel good. But he said it was like a combination of like that building up, and then sooner or later it just was basically like a bottle of Coke, you know. Once you shake it, you open the top, sooner or later it explodes. And then, like I say, it hit me from nowhere, but obviously working with him, I sort of...
The Leicester player described how he nearly withdrew from last year's World Championship due to mental health concerns.
Looking back, it didn't. I probably shouldn't have played, but, you know, I've learnt from that and know that if I'm in that position again, then no matter what tournament, I won't play.
During January's Masters tournament, O'Sullivan and Selby participated in a groundbreaking discussion about mental health on Eurosport. The exchange revealed startling truths about the psychological demands of professional snooker. O'Sullivan stated,
you know, to be there for the players, because it really is tough mentally. I mean, like, if he's struggling mentally, and I struggle mentally, and John Higgins struggles mentally, then the other 124 are 1,000,000% are struggling mentally.
Yeah.
Selby agreed, saying, "Everyone's mental health situation is different, but we all need similar coping mechanisms. It's never going to completely go away, but right now I'm managing it well." The conversation highlighted the isolation inherent in individual sports.
You know,
You're playing bad and you're struggling, you get caught out. Like Ron said, football, if you're playing bad, the team still wins because you've got 10 people supporting you. And no one sees your performance playing bad. You know, the team wins and the thing.
But when you're younger, I think when I used to play football as a kid, the reason why I wanted to play snooker was because I didn't want to rely on anyone. I don't know if you felt the same, but I thought, no, I'm going to take snooker up, because I thought, I've got these 10 teammates here, and it's not doing it. I've got to, like, am I going to put my faith in someone else?
Both players advocated for structural changes to support players' mental health. O'Sullivan proposed hiring dedicated professionals at tournaments.
You should have somebody, like at football, they have masseuse, people sorting out injuries. I think at snooker, they should have someone at the tournament employed as like someone struggling, they've come off the table. Do you need to have 10 minutes for someone? I'm not saying everyone will go in there. I just think for the because a lot of players suffer in silence, basically. I can tell, I just look at them, I go, you know, they're struggling, but they should have someone to go to and talk to. I think that's so important. You know, you have coaches sorting your cue action out, but really, you need someone just to like unload a bit. I think it would really help the players. I know.
He suggested. Selby supported the idea, recalling how he found therapy most effective with an objective professional.
What I've learnt from it, when you tend to open up more to someone who you don't know. Like when I was speaking to that doctor, because I didn't know him, he was saying, right, obviously tell me what. But if I was to like sit there and try and open up to one of my friends, I couldn't do it because I'd felt like they'd be hurting as well, listening to how I'm feeling, sort of thing.
The discussion revealed that even top players like Gary Wilson struggle silently.
And probably don't want to speak out or scared to speak out, you know. But if they've got someone like that where they can just go in a corner and just speak to them one-on-one, they'd probably feel more comfortable doing that than like.
I mean, and the guy would be busy. Whoever they employed, he would be a busy man.
And a lot of the time when
Mark Williams articulated what many in the sport acknowledge privately. O'Sullivan's participation dramatically affects tournaments. All events are brilliant when anyone wins, but with Ronnie, it's different class, Williams told Metro. He packs venues, whether it's the first round or final. Sponsors are happier. The buzz is unmatched. Williams noted the commercial reality. The crowd comes to see him. There's no one else who draws like that.